Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and I just can't wait any longer. I want to see if this thing works. So I thought what we'd do in this video, we're just going to do the bare minimum to this, just to make sure there's nothing shorted on the board or anything like that. Then we'll get the power supply reinstalled in it, we'll get it connected up to a monitor, and we'll actually see if this is going to do anything. Right, let's make a start. And this is going to be, you know, a tentative power up basically. I don't plan to make this video too long, I just want to see whether this is going to do anything. So, let me just grab my anti-static while we're playing about in here. It's all going to have to come completely apart, this computer, because it's absolutely filthy dirty. There's, well, it's like plaster or something like that, or some such thing all over the back of it. The board's all dirty. Obviously the floppy drive's all dirty. But it's not that dirty that we can't at least attempt to power this thing up. What's that for? Oh right, that's for if you've got a 2 floppy drive version of this, because it was sold as a dual floppy drive version. So it just has the floppy drive cable just curled up and stuffed down there if it's a hard drive version. That's interesting to know. Right, what we will do before we actually go and plug the power supply back in this and just try it, we'll do a few sanity checks. So if I set that to a reasonable resistance range there. Can you see my tester there? Because I'm a bit higher up than I normally am. Can you see that? Is that looking alright? Yes, it is. Right, and basically all I want to do is just make sure that we haven't actually got any shorts on the board. So I'll go between a ground there and a 5 volts. Oh, what? 300 ohms there, I think. 320 ohms, something like that. That's not too bad. Try the other one. These should both go to the same place anyway. Yeah, 328. Basically what we're looking for is there isn't a dead short there, which you'll indicate perhaps we had a bad capacitor or something, like I said, shorting out one of the lines. We've got this one that we need to check. So again, we'll just go on a ground and we'll just try. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Yeah, better ground on that. There we go. Yeah. About what I'd expect. Yeah. I've got a short there, hang on. Oh, we will have a short there because I was going between a ground and a ground, so that will give us a short. Let's just see if we can get anything on these again. No, we've got absolutely nothing showing up there. Then again, I wouldn't expect the two really. What we don't want is to see, you know, a short like that, because obviously that'd indicate that we've got something shorted on the board. But no, I can't see anything that's concerning me. We'll get that shut off, and we're going to run this thing as basically as bare as we can. So for initial fire up, all I'm really going to do is connect the power supply up. I'm not going to connect the hard drive up. I'll probably put power back into the floppy drive because that's all wired up, you know, to the board anyway. But if we don't put the hard drive controller in, it's got no idea it's got a hard drive, so that won't matter. And I'm not going to screw the power supply down or anything like that. This is literally just, I'm really curious to see whether the main board's actually going to power up or not. So we'll slide Right, there we go, that went down then. and the power supply is in the right place. I'm not even going to put any screws in it. I'm just going to make sure that that ground there's touching, and roughly dress that cable back where it should go, just so it's out of the way and neat. So all that will come out again, because we're going to do a complete strip down of this computer, clean all the main boards, check all the capacitors and everything, and make sure everything's absolutely perfect on this. But like I said, for the time being, alright, that's power to the hard drive. We can leave that disconnected. I think I will hook up the power to the floppy though, which I think should be that one. No, that one's long enough. Alright, so these floppies only use 5 volts. That's interesting. That's useful to know. Let's see if we can get that in there. Some of the later floppy, see, the earlier floppy drives, even the 3.5 inch ones, use both 5 volts and 12 volts. But by, I thought it was in the 90s actually, but it must obviously be earlier than that, because these are late 1980s, and both drives are designed to use the 5 volt only floppy drives. So if you was to use an earlier style drive in here that needs the I think I will have to put a screw in there just to hold that ground down there, because it actually grounds the board, and I don't want that floating. I will bang a couple of the screws that hold the power supply down back in, purely just to act as grounds to ground. Is that the right screw? Oh no, that's the right screw, isn't it? Yeah, that's the right screw, I think. Doesn't really matter for now, it's only just to temporarily hold it in place. No, that isn't the right screw. That's far too small. It must be one of these bigger ones. Yeah, it is one of them. Oh, it's not one of them though, that's too long. Is it? Oh no, no it's not. That's right. These very long screws. Like I say, it just gives it a little bit of grounding, so that board at the back there is actually grounded out. Right, we've got the floppy drive connected up. We're not going to connect the hard drive up just for now. That's that one. So we need to connect that 5 volt line there up. That provides 5 volts, I think, to all the back of the board there. So we will connect that up. I'm not 100% sure what that one's for. I think that's just a spare. That's for the other floppy drive, that's for the hard drive, this is for the rest of the computer. So that's got all our logic and everything. Sorry, it's got our minus voltages on it. Let's make sure that's connected right up. There we go. I think we've got a good connection there. Dress all that cabling down just to make it neater. Right, I think that's all we need to actually get a power up on this thing. Make sure that's out. Oops, side knocked the camera then. Let me just see if I can get you back where you were. There we go. Right, now what else do I need? I need video. Now I've got our monitor up here. We'll connect some video up. Right. So I've got the video connected up. We need the keyboard, because these Amstrads basically won't do anything without a keyboard. I don't need that connected now. These Amstrads won't actually do anything without a keyboard connected. And hopefully this will prove whether I can use this 4000 series keyboard that I've got with this 2000 series Amstrad. Now I think that's the right one. Yes, that's where keyboard connects. That does at least connect in there. Oops. I also have the key for the key lock here. Now again, I'm not sure whether that needs to be on or off to actually operate the computer. In fact, is even that the right one for this computer? It certainly doesn't look like it'll fit. No. Never mind. Right, okay, so we have got keyboard connected. I'll put the keyboard up there so we can see it. This keyboard does have a little bit of damage on the cable we might have to address as well. Let's plug in the computer. We're going straight in, no safety lamp or anything, because we're quite happy now. So that's plugged in. I don't have to have... I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll just reposition the camera so you can actually see the screen as well, just in case this thing's actually going to do something. So back in a... Right, I've got you on screen best I can, so hopefully you can see the screen here. Unfortunately I can't have the computer on the screen on the shot at the same time. Right, so I'll switch on now. 3, 2, 1. We've got... Well, we've got something. So we've got video being output. Let's try Control Alt Delete. Right, we have video. It's corrupt video, but we have video. Switch off. We try disconnecting the keyboard and see if it actually comes up with just a keyboard error. That could be the fact we had the wrong keyboard in there and it won't work with that, but let's see. No. That's with the keyboard disconnected and we're just getting... We do seem to be getting a seek off the floppy drive though. Right. I'll connect the keyboard back up. So at least we've got some activity there. Let's have a quick look on the keyboard, see if any lights. I did get a little flash on the scroll lock key when I switched on them, but they're not actually responding. So I honestly don't know whether my keyboard's doing anything or not. I'm certainly not doing a reset or anything like that. Oh, actually I do have a numlock light on. So the numlock light's on, but none of the keys are actually, I'll show you. So my numlock light there is on. But if I actually press scroll lock, numlock or anything like that, I'm not getting any response. Now I don't know if that's because the computer's frozen. In fact, that's a simple thing we could do, isn't it? I've got the postcard here. Let us see if we get any activity on the postcard if we plug that into the computer. So I'll tell you what, you've seen what the screen's doing. I'll get you down like that and you can actually see the computer itself. We'll plug the postcard in. And let's see if we get any activity. I'll get you zoomed down a little bit on the postcard, shall we, so you can see what it's doing. There we go. We'll switch on and we'll see if we get any activity on the postcard. No. I think it might just not show postcodes. We're definitely getting activity on the screen. We'll shut off again. Now I can see there's corrosion all over there as well. I think we're going to have to delve a lot deeper into this computer to see if we're going to actually get any output from it. Unfortunately, where all the damage seems to be on the board round here, Well, it's not really damaged, it's just stuff that's dropped through the case really. But it's all around here, and I mean the video ROM's there. The Paradise, yeah, so the VGA chipset is basically where all that's happened. So that could be our issue actually. We may have to do some work around there. There might be a little bit of corrosion, a bit of moisture's got in and caused some damage around there. There's a couple of electrolytic capacitors which could have caused issues. What I am tempted to do actually is plug just a VGA card in and see if we can get any video out of it that way. I think I've got one around here that might just do the job. Just bear with me a second folks while I find a card to test with. Back in a sec. Right, okay, we're back. Slightly more involved than I first anticipated. I actually thought to disable the onboard VGA so you can use a VGA card. It was those little dip switches at the back there. Apparently that's not the case. They're to do with, I think, switching between VGA and EGA, but just using the onboard video. There's actually a jumper you have to remove underneath. There's a little metal panel on these underneath you have to unscrew and take off, and it gives you access to the CPU, the co-processor slot, the SIM slots, and various jumpers for enabling, disabling various onboard things, setting IRQs and stuff like that. I had to go fertling round, and eventually I found the jumper to disable the onboard VGA. And it's actually in a place where, I mean, I've got some nice long tweezers like this. I was able to get in there and remove it, but I think really you're meant to take the entire computer apart to access some of those jumpers. And although you can get to them from that plate, I don't think you really intended to. Anyway, so we've got the onboard VGA disabled now. I've grabbed my trusty old Trident here. I've had this for years. It's just a very basic generic VGA card, but it seems to run with just about any computer I throw it in. So let's get that installed. We'll plug the VGA in there. I've actually got another VGA card. If this one works, I might just like to try to see if it just to see if it works actually. Right, okay, that'll do for that. Again, I'll get you back up on the old screen. Alright, so you can see the screen there. I haven't got the keyboard. Oh yeah, I'll plug the keyboard in. I think it's either not compatible, this keyboard, or it might actually have a fault, so I think we'll have to look into that. I really am hoping it is compatible, because I've been trying to find a 2000 series keyboard for some time, and every time they come up online they sell for far more than I can justify paying for them. I had to pay quite a chunk for that. Right, okay, let's give this a try this time. So 3, 2, 1. Computer's powered up, but we have no green light coming on the video there on the screen. Right, let's try it in a different slot just in case. Sometimes they can be awkward and just not like what slot they're in. So what I'll do, I'll get you down a little bit so you can kind of see. I need to reposition my screen really so it's all in shot, but it's a bit tricky. I don't have a whole lot of room on this bench for a big computer like this Amstrad. It is a fair old size, to be honest. Let's try it in there. I think that's what really should have the hard drive in it, but let's give it a try. Rightio, so we've got that connected back up again. Let's give it one last try. And no, we don't seem to be getting any activity. Let me just try quickly the other VGA card that I've got here. I don't think it should make a lot of difference, but just to see. Now this is actually the card out of that Opus that I am still working on. I've not given up on it yet. So we do have another board that could go in there anyway, but I've got this. This is about as basic as you can get. It's actually from exactly the same year as this computer. We've got an 8-bit VGA card here. I think it's like 256k of RAM on it. It's about as basic as a VGA card you can get, so technically it should work with just about anything. So we're in there like that. Let's give that a try and see if that gives us any... Oh yes, we've got a green light. Oh, and we've got something different on screen. Interesting. Let me get you up there. I got some beeps out of the computer then as well. I haven't had that before. Let me see if we can get the volume up so we can hear them beeps. But we actually got some post beeps that time. Let me grab this keyboard, see if this keyboard is doing anything. We'll see. No. We'll switch off and switch back on. We'll switch on. Let's see if it's going to yeah, it did a seek again. Right, at least we've got some progress. We've got beep codes coming out of it. Lovely. And we do seem to be, we're producing some kind of video there, but it's not, you know, video, if you know what I mean. It's, let me just try messing about with these jumpers on the back. They shouldn't make any difference at this point because all the onboard video should be disabled. But just to be on the safe side, and I'll try that in a different slot. Connect that back up and let's give it one last try and see if we get anything this time. No, it's exactly the same. Then it so we get a floppy drive seek and then we get a beep error code. So we know the computer isn't completely dead. We just have video issues. Let me try flicking all them switches the opposite way, just to be on the safe. Just trying things really. Like I said, they shouldn't really make much of a difference, but let's give it one more time. No, that hasn't made any difference at all. Oh, it's killed the colour out of it. So one of them must be black and white and must be mono. One of them switches. But, like I said, we're not dead. We have got a little bit of activity. It's not what we really wanted to see, but it's better than absolutely no activity at all, isn't it? I mean, it'd be really nice to have seen the computer boot up and everything work, but where's the fun in that? So I wonder why. I mean, it could be that this video card's not working. We're getting errors from that. Let's just try the other Trident card again. Because I mean, this Trident card I've used literally for years in these older systems, and it's worked every single time in every one. So I wonder why it's not happy. Why it's not happy in this one now. And unfortunately, I don't have a ton of ISA VGA cards I can really try. I've only got, I think I might have like 3. And they've got so expensive now, I don't think I'll be getting any more. No, that, and we get absolutely no It's literally as though it's not there. It's not liking that card at all, which is really weird. Because I've tried that card in many, you know, 286, 386, 486 boards, and it's worked it's worked every single time. So I wonder why it doesn't like working in this one. I suppose what we really need to do is try that in a working computer. Make sure that does actually fully operate. But that's the one we've had more success with that plugged in than with anything else connected. Just try that in a different slot as one last thing. But it definitely looks like we've got a corrupted video, and I'll have to count up all those beep codes, and I'll have to see if I can find what the Amstrad beep codes are. In fact, let's count them this time. If we get them. Now that's odd. When you have that video card in, it's not even trying to seek the floppy drive or anything. Most odd. It's like that card's dead. Wow, I used that card not that long ago and it was absolutely fine. I hope it hasn't died, so I'd say I've got very few ISA VGA cards. Quite a few PCI ones and loads of AGP ones. Right, let's give that one last try. And what we're trying to do is we want to count them beat codes up. I suppose if I don't, I'll have to play the video back and then count them up that way. So we'll wait for our floppy seek. There's our floppy seek. Was that 5? Did you count 5 then? I'll have to replay the footage after and just count out how many beat codes we've got there. We'll switch off. But yeah, we have a little bit of progress. Not a lot of progress, but at least we've proved, I think basically the heart of the computer is running, or else we won't be getting BIOS beep codes. We won't be getting a seek off the floppy drive. So we know that the floppy drive controller must be working, which means the CPU's running, the RAM's running. Like I said, we've got the BIOS is obviously firing up because it's giving us beep codes. We've just got corrupted video at the moment. So I think in the next video on this, we're actually going to bite the bullet and we're going to fully tear this thing down. We'll get the board out because I need to sort out all that grot and detritus that's on the board around there. And we'll try and get a video signal out of this thing. As soon as we've got a video signal out of it, we can start then working on all the other issues, like is the keyboard, is it the fact that the keyboard's got a slightly gnawed cable and it's got a slight short in it? Perhaps need to fix the cable, or is this just not compatible with this computer? I think I'm going to leave it there for now. I was trying to make this just a short little will it run video, so will it run a little bit? We'll call it a little bit. We'll call it a semi-success, a partial success. It didn't go up in smoke, it didn't go pop, pop, pop and blow a load of capacitors or anything like that. But we didn't get a boot, but at least we got the start of a boot. You know, we know we're getting there, we think this is probably going to be savable. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Hope you enjoyed this tiny little update on the project. I think I'm going to play with something Valve related next. I've got an itch to perhaps finish either that reel-to-reel tape recorder off, or perhaps finish that record player I was working on off and get them out of the way. Anyway, so I'll hope you enjoyed watching that. I will get back onto this fairly soon, and we'll, like I said, we'll get it all torn down and then see if we can find out what the issues are. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching and goodbye.